Welcome to Trade Pro. Let's talk about what I need to see before I can start calling the bottom is in for Bitcoin, S&P 500, Euro against the US dollar, and if the top is in for dollar currency index. So let's get into it, talk about what I need to see happen before I can have any sort of confidence that the bottom or tops are in across these pairs. But what I do, what's my game plan? Let's get into that as well. So daily time frame here, Bitcoin, what am I looking at? Well, what I've been talking about in the past videos where I've analyzed these pairs is shorting. So Bitcoin, talking about getting in at a discounted price, looking for a trend continuation to the downside. Has that time passed? Well, yes, it's already extended to the downside. The time to get in was over here. So where do I currently stand? Well, right now, I wouldn't do anything at all. So right now, with it being already extended to the downside, the time has already passed to get in. If you're trying to short it up here, looking for a downside continuation move, it's just going to be a waiting game at this very moment. Now, how do I get confident that the bottom is in? Well, first, I need to see this higher low hold. So this needs to hold a higher low compared to back here. Then we need to see the higher high. So taking out this high right here. And I need to see it come over the 200 EMA. Next, I need to see it consolidate. That's the point where I will get bullish and I will be confident that we're getting into a longer term uptrend, that the bottom is likely in. And that's what you'll hear me say. If we do see this happen, that's exactly what I'll be saying. So that's it for Bitcoin. I need to see this come up over the 200 EMA, consolidate, make a higher low here. But as of right now, here's a scenario to think about. We could be looking at a large move down. So that would be this leg down right here. And then we have this sort of potential for a 3-wave move and then a follow through to the downside. So just to kind of draw it over here, something like we get a push up like we saw over here. We get a higher low. And then we get a higher high just before heading down for a trend continuation move to the downside. So just be ready for that potential if we do see a pump here. You don't want to get too bullish prematurely. Wait for this to come over the 200 EMA and consolidate. We see a consolidation. That is going to be the entry point. That's going to be a good opportunity to get in my opinion. That's just what I'll be doing. I'm obviously not a financial advisor. I'm just talking about what I will do and what I'll be looking for. But don't risk any real money, paper trading advice only. All right, so let's move on to S&P 500. And actually, before moving on, just to say this is about trading. I'm talking about trading right now. So if you're trading a daily time frame, if you're a long-term investor, then there's no problem, in my opinion, with dollar cost averaging down here at these prices. So for me, dollar cost averaging here on Bitcoin is completely fine. Obviously, consult your financial advisor before making any decisions of your own. Now let's go to S&P 500. What about this one? Well, we do see a regular bullish divergence here. But as a trend trader, I don't like to counter trend trade. So there's no way I'd be buying into this downtrend. I would be looking for shorting opportunities as typically in a downtrend, when we see a regular bullish divergence like this, it leads to a bounce sometimes a larger bounce than others. This was a large one in particular, but it did continue down for a new low after that. So what will I be looking for on S&P 500? Well, it's the same thing. I want to see this come over the 200 EMA and consolidate out. We saw it come over the 200 EMA here. Never got a good consolidation. It just popped right back under. So there was just no confidence in this heading to the upside out of here. But right now, the way it sits, still going to be expecting downside continuation as the most likely scenario. Maybe we get a bounce out of here, but until we see this actually break over the 200 EMA, consolidate out, still going to be bearish. But if we see this happen, you'll see me flip bullish and you'll see it on my video. I will cover it in a future video if this does happen, and I will be flipping bullish if we see this on S&P 500, if we see this scenario on Bitcoin that I just talked about. So let's move on to dollar currency index. Right now, still in a very strong uptrend, and I'll still be looking for this to continue to the upside. The right thing to do along this whole way has been to buy the dips. We see it come over the 200 EMA, holds on top of it here, bounces off it a couple of times, and then just off to the races for something like 600 days now. Let's see how long it's been. 500 days. So really long uptrend, and I just don't like to call the exact top or bottom of these types of trends. It's just not smart to do so. It pays to join into the trend and not try to counter trade the main trend. So if this does put in a lower high right here compared to this, and then heads down for a lower low, then we have a bit of a short-term market structure change, but that's not quite enough for me to start calling that the top is in. I do need to see it come fully under the 200 EMA, consolidate out, and then we have the opportunity to get in at a discounted price on the first pullback. So pull back, get in, look for that trend continuation move. That's what I'll be looking for on dollar currency index for a reversal. Till then, I'm still bullish. I'm still looking for this to head to the upside. And it pays to trade with the main trend. And you can be wrong one time on the trend reversal, you can be wrong a couple of times, but when you join into the trend, you can be right many times, and it just pays to join into the main trend. Now, what about euro against the US dollar? Well, obviously this is going to be heavily correlated to the dollar currency index. I mean, they essentially look the same, just one's a downtrend and one is an uptrend, of course, but what am I looking at here as well? Well, it's the same deal on euro against the US dollar as it is on the other pairs. This has been a fantastic downtrend, and ever since back here, it's been a shorting market. Came under the 200 EMA, pulled back right into the rejection zone indicator, and it started giving great pullbacks along this whole entire downtrend to join in looking for trend continuation moves. The move has not been to try counter trend trading euro against the US dollar. Of course, I'm sure there's people out there who have been able to make money trading counter trend, and that's fine. There's many strategies that are profitable, but I think for the majority of people, it's going to be a lot easier, and you're going to be better off trading with the trend and waiting for a confirmed trend change to actually start flipping your bias with the trend. So how do I flip my bias with euro against the US dollar's downtrend? Well, I'll flip bullish when I see this put in a higher low. So if this puts in a higher low right here, goes up for a higher high, starts breaking structure to the upside, and comes over the 200 EMA, consolidates, then I look for that follow through to the upside. So you'll see me talk about this if this occurs. Of course, the bottom could be in here. The bottom could be in on Bitcoin. And I'm not saying it's extremely unlikely. These things are really extended to the downside, but trends can go on a very long time. So it just pays to trade with the trend again. So hopefully this is a bit of a lesson. If you're trying to pick the exact bottom, it's just not wise in my opinion. I personally would not try and pick the exact bottom. I do like to expect trend continuation moves. So with Bitcoin, we can take a look at bullish divergences, but again, trading bullish divergence, regular bullish divergence, counter trend often doesn't work out very well. Of course, it can and it will sometimes, but the majority of time it's going to be a small bounce that you get out of a regular bullish divergence. You're not going to get a full trend reversal. So it pays to look to join the trend at a discounted price and not just pick the bottoms of the entire multi-year trend, or it's just not in your best interest in my opinion. But I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing rally out of here and come up, maybe reject off the 200 EMA and head to the downside. And I already told you what I'd be looking for to flip bullish. And again, consolidating over the 200 EMA, that is the scenario I'm looking for to get bullish. Till then, I'll be looking for this to head to the downside. So, we can always look at things like regular bullish divergences to try and anticipate tops and bottoms, but often it's unreliable trading counter trend with divergence, and you're just better off joining into the trend direction. So that's going to kind of cover it for this video. The theme is don't counter trend trade, wait for the confirmation. I talked about what my confirmations are to flip my trend bias. And yeah, that's going to finish it off for this video. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.